Muy buenas tardes, mi gente. Today is Saturday, August 24th, 2024. And here with you guys, La Comadre B with another episode of Comadriando aquí y con café. Today I have here with me...
Hi everyone, my name is Shelly Monster.
Yes! And she is one of what I call real people. So we'll be sharing her whole story in just a bit. But before that, I wanted to, like always, give her the Comadre mug. So this is for you.
Oh,
Later, take a picture, tag me with it, send it to me, whatever. There's the mug.
Thank you.
And I wanted to start with the saludos también. So, hi mom, how are you? Anybody you want to give a saludo to?
Just my family, my son, and everybody, whoever's watching. Thank you for watching.
So guys, like I mentioned, I have her here as the real people with real stories. For you guys that do not know or do not follow me on Instagram, she is a fellow pinup sister of mine. I met her 2-3 months ago at one of our pinup contests, my first actually. So you know how that goes. I just have to talk to everybody because that's just what I do. So I drug her here, and she's going to be talking to us a little bit about depression and her side of her story and what she went through. So I just wanted to give that quick intro out there. Y pues a ver, comadre, who are you? What are you? ¿A qué te dedicas? Cuéntanos todo.
Well, I am a pinup model, and I've been modeling since 2013 and doing the contest since then, pinup contest, and well, everybody goes through life, and I surely hit life really hard, and I just want to share my story of what I've been through and how you can get out of it.
So what's your background, comadre?
My background.
A ver, tell us all about you. I don't know nothing about you. Tell me.
Well, my background, I grew up like way in the beginning. Okay, and how was this? No, I'm just kidding. I lived a life where my mom and I didn't. We always clashed. She was an alcoholic, and then I became an alcoholic as soon as I started going to high school. And it was domestic violence throughout my whole life with my mom and her partners, and it was I think that's when my depression started, honestly, because my mom never saw me for who I am, and how a good daughter I could have been, or not I am now, but it all started back then when my mom was drinking and an alcoholic, and we will fight and I would go in and out of juvie, in and out. I went to jail once, and then.
How old were you?
When I got arrested, I was just telling my son that when I got arrested, I was 17, and it was a few days before my birthday. As soon as my birthday passed and I turned 18, I went to jail, to the big adult jail.
Right here in LA? The Twin Towers?
The Twin Towers.
How was that? Scary.
It was extremely scary, and a lot of the women were looking at me like, what is this young girl doing here?
Yeah.
Like, what is she doing?
But they baby you though? Yeah, they did.
And they protected me.
Yeah. They're nice people in there. Even though it's hard to believe, guys, there is all walks of life in there. I'm not saying they're all good, but there's more good than bad in there. It's just they got caught.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody's always like, oh, the jail people. No, there's a lot of people out here that never got caught, and that's why they're out here.
Yeah.
And then some that are in there for stupid things like unpaid tickets.
I was there because I didn't. I wasn't going to school, so I was ditching a lot, and they caught me, and then I was in juvie, in and out, and because I turned 18 in juvie, they sent me to. So it was just because I'm not going to school. So go to school.
How long were you there?
For a month.
How much school had you missed?
I was there for. All I know is I was there for the month of October.
Wow.
Yeah, once it hit November, then let me out, and I walked out. But it's funny because the only person that visited me that day, well, in there was my dad.
Oh. Do you
My
talk?
mom
Is your
never
dad
came.
still around?
He is.
Yeah, you talk to him good.
Sometimes. I know he lives far. He lives in Sherman Oaks, and he works in the movie industry. So it's kind of hard to, just see him pop out of nowhere and be like, "Hey, Dad, hit me when I can," because he's at work. So
Yeah. Schedules are hard when we're grown.
yeah.
So, after you did jail and all that, did you like get scared, or were you still not caring too much?
I think I was still not caring too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will fall into relationships, toxic relationships, because that's all I knew from my mom. That's all I knew, toxic relationship. I thought that if I would drink and do drugs and stay with this person, that he will love me forever.
And how did that go? Not good.
Not good, because I had some that would abuse me and hit me, and there was even one that locked me up in a garage for days, and I didn't know what day it was, and yeah.
Let me take one quick, just butt in real quick. To the parents watching, personally, I speak from experience myself. Domestic violence has no age. Loony is loony from day one. If you have that person that thinks they have the right to have that control over the other person, they will do so. And I myself was victim, I say, of one of those crazy guys at a very young age. And the same thing, I was fortunate enough to not be attached, and I walked away. A lot of issues came out of that. Like, this guy was seriously crazy. I don't mean to throw that word out there because it is offensive at times, but there's no other way to put it. He had mental issues. He was crazy. When I broke up with him, he still stalked me. Probably about 7 extra years, and it was to the points where he was going to my work, and just like my dad got into it with him, my now husband got into it with him. He would park outside my house. When I was already going out with my husband now, he would go as far as even go and look in my window in my room, and that would scare the shit out of me because I didn't know what he was trying to do, and my mom was there, my sisters were there. It's like, what are you doing, So people, talk to your kids. I'm not gonna say talk to your daughters, because it could be girl or boy that are not all there. Talk to them and explain to them that they have no reason to put up with anything. If you are not in a comfortable, safe zone with love and respect, walk away. Especially when you're so young, you're not even invested for real. So just throw it out there. You have no kids, you have no marriage, you have no property together or a freaking dog. Walk away. Walk away. A lot of people find themselves in situations like that, and they just get deeper and deeper into this horrible relationship, and next thing you know, you're just stuck and you cannot get out.
Yeah.
So please, parents, take that second. I know most of you guys know what it's about or know somebody that went through it, so please just put that awareness out there. Talk to your kids, give them the warning. Of course, they're still going to do whatever they want to do at the end of the day, but with you talking to them, can at least, hey, this is what my mom was telling me or my dad mentioned,
Yeah.
Because it's ugly, guys. It's ugly. And I know a lot of our generation folks don't hit our kids anymore. There's no more corporal punishment. So what gives any other asshole the right to put their hands on your kids? No. Whether they're the same, no. If I don't hit you, you ain't getting hit by nobody else. Period, guys. All right, comadre. Sorry to throw that in there, but yeah, that triggers me.
Yeah, it's okay. I know. I lived a really crazy life. Yeah. When I was stuck in that garage, I was able to get his phone, and the only number I knew was my mom's.
How old were you then?
I was I want to say like 19.
Was he in his own place, or where were his parents, or what? How did they not know?
It was his brother's apartment. Yeah. Yeah.
Did he not know you were there?
I guess not. Yeah.
How long were you in there?
I don't know. I lost count of days, and then there was no bathroom, so you can imagine how I used the restroom there.
Wow. Yeah. So then what happened? You got his number and
I got a hold of his phone. I got my mom. The only number I knew in my memory was my mom's number. Even though we've never connected, I still talked to her when she was sober. She was the greatest person ever. But I called her and she's like, well, get out. And I'm like, well, I can't. And then she called the ambulance and the police, and they all came, and I was hiding because I was scared. And that was like the first time I saw daylight, and it was really bright.
Wow. During that time, he wasn't hitting you or nothing?
Honestly, I don't remember. Probably.
So would he even feed you?
No.
So what did you do? When you were in there, what were you doing? Obviously trying to get out, sitting there scared, but like what were your days like? Where would he go? Or was he there with you the whole time?
Half of the time he'll be with me, but then half he will go to work. But it just felt like it was dark, there was no light, and the only light that was cracking was from the door, from outside, and I think I was asleep most of the time, and I don't know. It's just, there's like bits and pieces of it, but I do remember being in there.
Damn.
I don't know for how long though.
So then they got you out?
Yeah.
And what happened?
I went to the emergency room. After that, I don't remember anything.
And what happened to him? Did you press charges on him?
No.
Why?
I don't know. I was scared.
Oh,
I was afraid.
My goodness.
I know.
And then what happened with him? Did you stay away?
I did stay away.
Yeah?
Yeah, I did.
And he kept looking for you or no?
Yeah, he tried. Yeah.
Was his name
No. No.
Sorry. I'll cut that out though. That was my fucking, oh my god, my terrorizer. He was fucking psycho.
I think I was already depressed when at all those stages, or at least it was building up, and it was just being bottled up in this big old jar. And I had kids with the guy that locked me into the garage. I had kids with him.
You had kids with them?
2. And I was living in the street, and he didn't want to take me in. So I gave my kids up for adoption.
How many did you have?
2.
2 of them?
Boys.
So at that time when he locked you up, you guys already had your children?
No.
You had them after?
Yeah. So I guess I would say I went back and got pregnant and had kids, and yeah. But because I was too young and I was living in the streets with no food to even feed myself or my children, I gave them up for adoption.
Oh man,
I think that's the deepest secret that nobody ever knows about me, but it needs to be out because I can't hold anything anymore.
And you know what? I'll give you a lot of credit for that, because as a mother, your kids are everything to you. And how many stories don't you hear with these people that kill them or pawn them off?
Yeah.
Or sell them? So yeah, no, that's good. That's good, It's unfortunate that it happened, but at the time, I'm pretty sure, like you said, you couldn't even deal with yourself. So that was your best choice.
Yeah.
You don't know anything about them?
No, just that I only know their names and their birthdays. That's all I know. Yeah.
How was that process? How did you?
I felt like I went crazy for a month because I kept hearing babies cry, and it hit me so hard. Maybe that's where my depression started.
How old were they?
They were like a few months apart. So one was like, I want to say like from a year to one a year, and the other one was like 2 months.
So you had postpartum then. That's what the crying was.
Yeah.
And then what happened with all that?
So I was still living in the streets. I was trying to go to GR, to get help from the government. They would give me money to go to hotels so I can sleep there, and give me food so I can get food. But I was by myself, and it was just hard. And I did, after that, I did get into drugs because I didn't want to fall asleep because I was
Scared.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I always know. Like right here, Pomona, I've always mentioned it to my people that watch me. We have a lot of homeless. It's a problem here. And I noticed that, yeah, they're asleep all day and they're awake all night. And that's a logical explanation I have. They feel safe during the day. Yeah, that's ugly. And then you're a girl. How old were you by then? 20?
Yeah.
20?
Yeah, I slept in, my mom she used to just kick me out of the house because she was always drinking and she didn't want me at the house. So I had slept in train stations, I had slept in alleys, I have slept in even the church stairs.
And back then, where was your dad? You couldn't go get help from him?
No, because at the time he was married with his ex-wife, and I didn't realize then because he just recently told me that she used to abuse him.
Yeah.
And
see, guys, domestic has no face.
Yeah.
Wow. So then what happened? You did the streets.
The streets, the hotels. After that, I started living in my another ex-boyfriend's house, mom's house. She took me in. I was, happy about that because I didn't have to sleep in the street anymore. All I had to do for her was watch her kids, clean the house, and cook.
So you're like a nanny kind of in there.
I would say like Cinderella.
Yeah. Yeah. How long did that last?
I think that lasted about a year until I met my husband.
The one you're with now?
Yes.
So you're living with another guy's mom, and then you meet but you weren't with the guy no more after?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, his mom took me in. She gave us an ultimatum. She's like, you guys aren't going to be together. You guys are brothers now. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, as long as I have somewhere to live.
Yeah.
It was hard because she would make me wake up at 5 in the morning, start cleaning with bleach and toilets with bleach, and pretty much the house is cleaned all the time with food on the table.
That sucks. But at least you were safe and you had a house.
Yeah.
So then how did you meet your husband now?
I met my husband at a Christmas parade in Highland Park.
Oh, how nice.
My cousin, she was in cheerleading of the team, and she asked me, because I've been in parades and when I was little, she asked me, she's like, can you teach me teach me how to walk in the parade and what to do? And I was like, oh yeah. And I had asked for permission to go out on the weekend, and she's let me go. So I went, and then I saw my husband with his gay mohawk. He had a funny looking mohawk, and I was just like,
what the heck is that guy doing?
I can do a better mohawk than what he has. But after that, after the parade, I figured out that he was in my cousin's team, and he was like part of the parade. He was like the system, the music for the girls to dance. So that's how and then I started talking to him. He started talking to me, and I was just like, you're weird. Please don't talk to me.
It's the same thing I told him. And here we are. You're 22 years this December.
Yes. And then, I was just like weirded out about it. And he was just like, hi, my name is Raul. And I told him my name. And then he's like, well, can I have your number so we can go to gigs? And I was like,
what year was this? Because gigs is an old word. Now everybody just says chill. We want to go chill.
It was 2008.
So it's been a long time, huh?
Yeah, we've been together 2008. That's 16 years together. 10 years. We're gonna hit 10 years on November 8th. Married.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
How's that life? Don't look at the camera. Tell me.
It's like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I know that. So when you hit your depression state, were you already married to your husband, or when did that fall into pain?
I think my depression, I still had my depression from being in and out of school all the way till my adult life. Even with my husband, I had depression.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was times where I think where it got the worst is when I was with my husband. I think my firstborn was probably like 3. And I was at home. He was like, "Oh, you don't have to work. I'll maintain the apartment. I can, pay off." But being at home and being alone with the kids
It's
and
horrible,
not having visitors, not having anybody to come by and say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. People, I blame a lot of everything on postpartum. And people think that it's only the first, 4 months. Fuck no. Postpartum goes on for years. And, then it's not just postpartum. It turns on to full-on depression, And I myself had really bad depression with my first kid. I was suicidal. I was hearing babies cry, like you said. And it was really hard for me. At that point, my marriage was in a very horrible situation. My husband was running around. He didn't care. His consoling words to me were, "Just do it already. What are you waiting for?" So here I was feeling like shit. I went to the doctor to get help because I didn't know what to do. I was just like, man, I can't even describe anymore in words like what the feeling was, but it was horrible. I had family issues that were financial issues. Like I said, my husband was running around. He got caught. He didn't care. I'm sitting here with this baby, frustrated as hell because she was my first. It just, when my youngest sister was born, we're 16 years apart. She was born April, then I turned 17 that September. I took care of her like she was mine. My mother has the C-section, so that was my way of helping my mom relax too. And I raised my little sister like she was mine, and it didn't affect me in any way. It was like the most rewarding thing ever, But then here we are years later. I had my own, and obviously your actual hormones kick in and everything. Man, I cannot begin or end describing to you guys how serious this postpartum depression is. I had postpartum psychosis, so I would actually see things. And I go to the doctor and I tell them, "Hey, I'm going through this and that. It's ugly. I'm hearing this baby that just does not stop crying." And it was like the most scary freaking feeling because I'm sitting here. I had just left her. She had a little a play pack, I think that's what they're called, but they had the high tray, so I would lay her in there. I would literally walk from me to you, but in a different room, the wall would be right here.
Yeah.
I would just hear her crying and crying, and I just look, she's sound asleep. So I'd be like, what the hell? I'd go back, and then I'd even start playing with the sink. Is it the water? What am I hearing?
Yeah.
And I would tell my mom, I'd be crying, "Mom, the baby, I just hear her all day, no se calla." And she was like, "But is she crying?" Mom, "No, I think I'm going crazy." So that's what my mom told me. She said, "Ve al doctor, talk to them and tell them everything you're going through." So yeah, I go over there. They gave me pills. What are those freaking pills called? Xanax?
Okay.
Xanax. My God, let me tell you guys. Again, a tip from me to you. Pay attention to the medication you take because it has different effects on different people. They gave me Xanax. They said, take this. It's going to help you with your depression. Okay, it helped me with my depression, but now my hallucinations were even bigger. What do? Take them to feel okay, or stop taking them, feel like shit, and then see things anyway? Like, what do? You know? I was on those pills probably about a week. And I remember the first pill that I took, man, it gave me like a freaking, like a rush. I just felt like heat from my feet up. And my nostrils felt like they were burning, and my ears inside. And I was just like, man, you know. So, it was ugly. I started vomited. And I was like, okay, well, you know, whatever. I wasn't eating. Like I said, all my personal marital issues were shit. Like, man, they were so bad. I wasn't eating. I've always never been able to sleep myself. So, you know, you add that in the mix. Plus the body aching. Like, my baby was only about 4 or 5 months at this point, you know. So all that stuff, like, it had been rolling on months and months and months, you know. And I remember when one morning, because my husband has always had the same schedule. By 4:45 in the morning, 5 o'clock the latest, he's gone. So it's still dark outside, you know. And I remember I had this dream, and it was so ugly because you know, Freddy Krueger, the way it's like it is, but it's not. I've had those dreams often, but in this period of my life, I was having them every day, and it was all that the shit I was going through. And I had this dream where my kid is crying and crying, and I'm like looking at her, and I had ate all her fingers. So in my dream, I had blood coming out of my mouth, and I had ate her fingers, and she's crying because she has no fingers, and I could see fingers, like her little pinky was on the bed that I had ripped off of her. So, man, I remember I was like, what did I do? And when I did that, I sat up. He had just left. I had just walked him out the door. So this dream must have been 10 seconds long, maybe, because it wasn't even 20 minutes since he had been gone. I sat up, and my baby's sound asleep, so I just start crying. I went to the bathroom. I flushed all the pills down the toilet. I cried for about an hour, as loud as I could cry. I closed the door. I was on the floor. It was so horrible. Like, man, I remember I was just so lonely, and I was just praying to God, like, let me just live and get out of this point, because I can't do this anymore, you know? My mom can only do so much, and, you know, my husband has the control, because they do. I don't know your relationship, but with us, it's like, if I'm bad with him, I'm bad, period, you know? I'm sitting here feeling like shit, and his words to me are just, get the fuck over it, kill yourself already. It's like, how can I even function? Where's my support, you know? And man, I cried as loud as I could. I remember I just prayed. I laid on the floor. I was just a mess, you know? And that's it. I said, I'm not taking these pills anymore. Man, it was the roughest, I would like to say, about a year for me, because it was just horrible. And like I said, all my family issues were right there too. Finances, because of my family issues, were shit. Like, we had no power for like almost 10 days in my house because of that. And it was just a bad time, you know? And man, I remember about 4 times I did try to kill myself, and it was unsuccessful. And I'm thankful now, because I look back and, okay, I blame enough portions of it with my postpartum, but the rest is like, who fucking cares, you know? If you're in a failed relationship, who fucking cares? Your husband may not love you. Your boyfriend may not love you. Fuck them. Nobody has that ability, or should have that ability, to have that much power over you, to where you're like, fuck, I failed. There goes my family. There's my husband. Like, why? You know? I sit here now and I just like, fucking why? What the fuck was wrong with me? You know? Yeah. And it's just sad, because again, you fall victim to routine. I come from a very dysfunctional family. That's what I'm going to call it. My dad was a dysfunctional one, so he would throw everything off. My mom was as righteous as they come. Thank God for my mother. But my dad, he was a rambling man. He liked the women. He liked to be out. The older he got, more sinvergüenza he became. And it was just hard, So for me, when I became a mother, I was like, I'm going to make this happen. Period. I have that whole mentality like a family, a mom and a dad with my little baby. So I was so fixated on, I cannot let it just go. I'm not gonna have my kid growing up seeing the stuff we grew up with. And to my fucking mistake, because it was a mistake, my kid ended up seeing that and more, because it was a fight. Every day was a fight with us. We couldn't afford to move away from each other because, once again, our finances were shit. They were garnishing his entire check every week. So I was stuck there. My mom had my sisters. They were still young and unmarried, all at her house. Where was I supposed to go with my baby? So a lot of people that do know me question me like, well, you're stupid. You stayed. I stayed because I'm a mother first. I stayed because I needed to make sure my child had a roof over her head and that she had food in her belly. At that time, it was milk, thank God. But that's why I stayed. Thank God now here we are 13 years later and we make it work how we could work. But, at that time, I don't know. I always play back things and man, maybe I should have done this. Maybe I should have done that. Because, my oldest kid has depression. And I feel like it was brought on from us and all the crap we made her see and made her go through. But it's hard. It's hard. I know exactly what you mean. I had no friends. When I graduated school, that was it. I got married to my job then. For years, that's all I did. Work. Then after that, when I became a mother, that's all I did, a mother. I had no friends at all. My sisters didn't even talk to me. I had nobody. I was alone. My only friend was my husband, and that was literally it. Add that to depression, add that to the stress of having this new baby and everything that comes with that. A lot of people don't understand. And that's what I tell them, no, depression goes hand in hand with postpartum. So while you're doing the whole hormonic change, then comes the depression, and it just lasts forever. It does.
Yeah.
So then how did you get over that?
I think what you're saying right now, it makes a lot of sense with my oldest as well, because he saw everything that I went I went through with my depression. Because so I was at home every day. My husband works graveyard from 3 in the morning. And then that time being home alone, I would invite neighbors. I would buy them drinks. I'd be like, here's a beer for you. Here's a beer for you. Hang out with me.
Yeah.
And most of them were all guys. And so I would get drunk in front of my first one. But, so that's why, that makes sense why he's depressed now as well.
He's seen a lot.
He has seen a lot.
Yeah. And it's sad.
It is.
Yeah. Not till now, I still, like I said, now that I'm in a better place mentally, because I've been in a really great place for about 3 years now, I fucking hate myself for it. I really do. I apologize to my kid, endlessly. And she's a whole persona of herself. So I don't think I'll ever be able to crack her or anything. And she's only 12. But it's man, it hurts me so bad that I have put that hurt in her heart,
Yeah.
And all because I'm trying to hold on to my family. How? If she is what I love with my entire heart,
Yeah.
And it's just so hard and it's so ugly, guys. So if any of you guys are going through a situation like this, honestly, let it go. Let it go, because kids remember everything. Put yourself in your kid's shoes, or go back to when you were a kid yourself and you were scared. All those emotions will stay with you. You will remember all of that forever. And those are things that scar so deep and they don't go away. So just let it go. You know, being in a divorced household is so common now, it doesn't even matter. You know, who is your real family anyway? As long as your kids are safe and they're taken care of, that is all that should matter to you. The one that's meant for you will be for you, and he will come in the correct timing. Trust me, guys. He or she or whatever the situation is, because nowadays a lot of women go missing too now. They're like, hey, this ain't for me, I'm out of here. So it sucks, you know?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so I would buy the neighbors just so they can hang out with me. So every Friday, every weekend, I would get drunk, and my husband would find me and say, "What are you doing?"
You do.
And I'd be like,
Grab you by the
party. I'm like, party. But I was really dying inside, and that was a cry for help, and I don't think he even knew. Yeah, but it got to so bad. I attempted many times during those times, and I've cut myself on my arms. I had to cover this one with a tattoo because this was the most the arm that had most cuts on. So I had him. You can't see him now because I have a tattoo, but that was the arm that I did the most. And I actually have a journal, like a diary of all the things that I went through and all the things that I was feeling in one book, and I still have it because it's a reminder to never ever go back to that.
How long were you in that deep part?
I want to say 6 years.
6 years.
That's also the time that I stopped talking to my mom. I haven't talked to her for 6 years back then, because she was a very extreme alcoholic. We would get together and it was just fights, fist fights, literal fist fights.
Are you the only child?
I am the oldest. So I am the oldest. I have 4 siblings. 2 of them are from my actual dad. They're twins and they're 33. One is from another guy. He's 21 now. And then the smallest she is 14. She's from another guy.
So at that time though, when you were having all these issues, the twins were there, right?
Not really.
No?
No.
Where were they at?
I don't know. They were going through their problems too.
Really?
They were living in the streets too.
How far apart are you guys in
3
age?
years apart. Yeah.
Damn.
But they were more into deep, like drugs, and it was bad.
If you were like 19, right? They were what, 16 then?
Yeah.
Do you talk to them now? Are you guys good?
Here and there.
Yeah.
We're trying to restore a family, but it's, little by little.
It's hard, huh?
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, but I think that was my deepest, where I attempted a few times and I got hospitalized a few times, and it was like a year before we were gonna buy our house, that I was telling my husband, it's happening again. Once I said that it was happening again, he knew exactly what was going on. Even though he came out at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, he's like, get up, we're going to go for a drive. Because he knew, because when I say it's happening again, it means that my depression, it will go in and out, so it just come out of nowhere, and I'll get depressed and anxiety all at once.
When you went to the hospital, what did they do? Commit you?
Yeah.
And what was that like?
It was scary. I remember my husband fighting for me, saying that I didn't need to be in there, and he was talking to the doctor, and he said that he was gonna take care of me, and the doctor was like, are you sure? And I was just like, what's going on here? But he fought for me. He said, yeah, I'm gonna take care of her. He took me home.
How long were you in there then? What is it, 48 or 72 hours?
I think it's 72 hours.
72 hours?
Yeah.
And then what happened? You went home and You were still all out, zoned out?
I was still.
And you tried right away? Or what would you be like? Because you say it comes and goes.
It comes and goes, yes. So I don't remember exactly what happened that day. I like my life, it's like in bits and pieces, and I don't know why it's like that. But I don't remember what happened then. I don't even know. Actually, I do know how I got better. But
Okay, tell us.
well, I was, I know I got into the pinup scene around 2013. That's a little, I kind of skipped that part, but I used to be a shy person. I was so shy.
I'm still real shy.
I was so shy. I could not go up to the cashier and buy food.
Really? Oh my goodness. Sounds like me. No, just kidding.
But I pushed myself to do that so I can get out of my shelf and so I can find something to take my depression away.
The pinup.
Yeah.
And how was your first show? What was it like?
It was horrible. Was
it?
I was scared.
Where was it, or what was
nervous.
it? Tell us your whole first experience.
I think it was in Long Beach. Yeah. I was the Brimstone car show or something like that. Yeah, I was at a hotel. It was very fancy. Ruby Woo was the one that told me about the contest. So that was pretty cool. I think that's what my husband introduced. I think it was my husband's sister introduced me to Ruby Woo because she did my hair, and that's how I got it and started getting into the pinup scene because I went to go do my first pinup photo shoot with her, and she told me, and I was like, I want to be in it. So.
Oh, cool. So then
her.
you went up there, and what did you say? Did they ask you anything?
They did, but I remember. All I remember is that they're like, no, I think it was a crowd thing, so they were clapping. They didn't clap for me hard enough, and I was like sad. And instead of going this way, I went this way across the stage.
Did you flip them off?
F this.
Thug life, no?
That was funny, and my mom was there too. My mom is like in and out of my life, but it was embarrassing.
Well, who cares? Fuck it, you were up there. A lot of people don't know though. Like they're just like, oh, they're just up there. It's nerve-wracking.
Yes, it is.
Especially for me. I'm so shy.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Standing up there with all eyes on you, you're just like, oh man, just stop looking.
You're like, man, what I get myself into?
Yeah, I know, right? And then there you go to the next one. I was so embarrassed last time. Here I go again.
Maybe I can do better next time.
I'm determined, huh? I'm gonna win. And I told him, because I've only done 2. The 2 I've been in with you, those are the only 2. And I was like, man, as long as I win a bag of peanuts, I'm cool. Like, who cares? I don't even need to win. Just give them to me. And then I end up getting better anyway. You see how they give you they give us little bags, like, what are they? Like a little goodie bag with little things.
Oh, yeah,
so
those are cool.
I go home a winner. No.
Yeah, we all do.
I didn't have none of this when I got here, so I'm good to go.
Yeah, exactly.
So doing the whole pinup, that's a whole other world. That's why I always say like my pinup sister, because it's like it's cool. I've been around a lot of type of people, and I think the pinup girls are the most easy to get along with. How was that with you? Like, did it help you get out there and do a bunch of everything else?
I was still shy. I couldn't talk to people. And when I do try to talk to people, I never know what to say. So I just stay there and stay quiet and observe. But it's kind of, it's I don't want to say it's hard because, you know, some people can do it like nothing. But I try a couple of times being friends with people and joining, like, I don't know, they call groups, like, how they have groups, and those never worked out.
People are mean though. Like, I always talk about shit like this, and like me, when I had my second a few years back, because she's only 5, there was a mommy group on Facebook, right? So I joined. I was like, okay, I want a friend, you know. So I joined, and I liked it because they have a lot of parenting tips.
Yeah.
You know, I've only have 2 kids, and they were like 7 years apart. So it felt like I was just starting all over again, you know? And then every kid has their own mañas, so it's like my first one was so well everything. And then I had this freaking monster. Like, man, what do I do with this freaking kid, you know? So I joined the group and everything, and they would ignore me all the time. And I'd be like, well, what the hell? Like, you know, they'd be like, oh, like I remember one girl in Rancho Cucamonga. Oh, I need a mommy that's in the area so we could go have coffee. Is anybody like available on Wednesday? So then I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm right here. I was in Upland at the time, so I was like, oh, you know, what time Wednesday? And then she completely ignored me. So then all these other broads are answering, well, what time Wednesday, blah blah blah, and none of them could. So then I asked again about what time Wednesday. I'm not sure if you didn't see my message, but I'm in Upland. I can meet you. She fucking ignored me again. So I was like, you know what, whatever. And I just noticed that a lot with that group. Like, they had their favoritism, and they would invite everybody. And again, I was never invited. And I was like, you know what, screw you guys. One day I'm gonna be real cool, and I'm gonna just be like, F you, you too, and you more. Because they suck. Like, what is so good about you where you don't want to go hang out with somebody, but you're begging for somebody to go hang out with you, and you have one tonta telling you, oh, me, and you're still ignored. Like, you know, screw you, whatever. And
Yeah.
to my luck, nobody went with her. So that's what you get for being freaking mean. Don't be mean, people. In this day and age, and our age, we're ready to kick the freaking bucket, and you're still being mean?
Seriously.
God. I get so, that gets me angry.
There's some girls that are just like, why?
mean.
Why? Just be nice.
I think the pinup girls are nicer though. They are.
Yeah.
Very easy, and they uplift you. Oh, you don't come here, and oh, you look so cute.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, this
yeah.
and that. That's what it's like. I'm just
I
standing
love
there.
it. Yeah, and then when somebody has like their little pack with everything in there, and you're like, I can help you.
Yes.
I started being one of those too, because I was just like, it's true. Let's help each other out.
Yes.
Let's straighten out each other's crowns.
That's what I hope. To me, honestly, I don't know what you might think, but to me, an insecure broad is always a jealous, mean one.
Yes, I think so.
You know, me personally, I always say it too. I don't think I'm the best. I always say I'm a 6. I seem better, I seem worse. But for me to think that I'm above anybody, come on, how and why?
Yeah.
You know, and it just sucks. Like, I always like to make people feel included and welcomed and comfortable. Like I said, we're freaking old already. That whole like mean girl stuff's high school shit. Like, get over it. We're so here like now. Talk to people, know them. What's your life like? What's your house like? You know, do you like dogs? I know you like dogs.
I do.
She loves dogs.
Yes, I do. And cats.
So, you know, it's like, people fucking suck. I don't suck. No.
No, you're awesome. I'm glad I met you.
I don't suck. I'm nice.
Awesome.
I always tell people I'm the nicest person you will ever meet.
I'm nice as well, but if I'm quiet and just, it's because I'm observing and I don't know. I'm thinking what's the next thing I should say that's not gonna sound dumb.
You're registering, huh? Like,
What should I say? Hi, my name is Shelly. Do you like cheese?
That's what you should start telling people. Be like, what? Now that's a nice breaker right there. Like, what kind of cheese you got? Why you asking?
I would say that was part of what took me away from depression.
The pinup scene.
Yes.
Being busy.
Yes. And then I started working at Ruby's Diner in Citadel, and I was there for 4 years.
Oh, how fun.
I would work from 9 to like 4, and I liked it, even though I was getting paid chump change, and even though I was they were treating me like crap. I
Just
liked
interaction, huh?
I liked it. I liked it, interacting with people. I liked just being busy, because if I was too much in my head,
You're too much in your head.
depression would just come
Yeah.
out, and anxiety. Yeah. There was times where we would go on long trips on the freeway or whatever, and I would have to get the strongest mint or the strongest gum, so I can, because usually if you take like a whole bunch, your anxiety just goes away.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because I couldn't take my I had medication for depression. I had medication for anxiety, but every time I would take it, it would make me sleepy, and that was during the day.
But you know, I say really because you know bubble yum, the big thick pink bubble gum in
Oh,
the
yeah,
pack
yeah,
that
yeah.
only comes like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
When I would get all antsy, that's what I would chew. And just because you know how it's a big old glob,
Yeah.
and it would take my anxiety away.
Yeah.
See, I didn't get anxiety till recently, maybe about like 5 years ago when I had my kid, and my postpartum was there again, but this time my husband's brother had been murdered, so he was going through a lot. And I couldn't sit here and be in my feels with my stuff. So I would just sit here and like, man, what do I do? You know, like my kids they don't deserve this. Like their dad's in a place. I'm all freaking loca también because I like my thoughts weren't there, you know?
Yeah.
So I would just, one day I remember my kid had a pack. And I was laying on the floor with my little one. She was asleep. I like to lay with my kids on the floor when they're little, so they don't roll off of anything, you know? So it's like, if you're already on the floor, where are you going to go, you know? So she was tiny. She was about 3 months old, and I had her laid on the floor, and I was laying there with her. And I got I felt like running. I had this itch behind my ears. I had this, like, feeling in my stomach. Like, I had, like my arms felt cold. I don't know. Like, it was just all these feelings that come in and out. And I was like, man. So I was like scratching, and I don't even know where the itch is. I just needed to like scratch. So I got a piece of gum and I laid there and I'm just chewing as hard as I could, looking to the ceiling. And there, next thing you know, it just went away. It went away. And I was like, okay. So then I went through the whole little pack, and then I was like, okay, we're going to the dollar and I'm going to go buy more. And that's what I did. And I did get help right away too. And I talked to my doctor about it, and he actually told me to write. He said, write. And I've mentioned this before in other episodes because I just feel like it did help me a lot. And if you can tell somebody that's going through it, maybe it can help for, you know, them too. And that's what really helped me cope with a lot of stuff. Writing, you know. And even though, I was super depressed and everything else, and, you know, you just have a kid, so your body ain't the same, this and that. Again, you know, we were having our issues, this and that, and I just decided to take all that negative, you know, marital situation and turn it to the better. So instead of sitting there and feeling sorry for myself, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get out and go check something out. And that's literally where all my shows and this whole idea with my podcast came from, because I've always wanted to be on the radio. My time has came and gone. So I was like, you know what? There's no way I can still go get broadcasting or the certification they require. So I was like, you know, COVID was real big too. So it was freaking boring because we couldn't go nowhere. So I was like, okay, so if we visit certain places, nobody's there. So, you know, we can do this and show the kids certain things and everything else. So that's what I did. I started going places, recording my kids, you know, studying a lot of local stuff because I love history as it is anyway. So it's like, let me read about it. So it's like, oh, you know, I tell them, let's go see this rock over here. The hell you want to go see this rock for? It's like, because it looks like a ship. Let's stop right here, you know. So yeah, like going to Palm Springs, we're right there at that ship rock, and next thing you know, everybody's intrigued because it's a real thing. It ain't just me being crazy. So it's like, and that's how it started. But yeah, bubblegum, chew gum, guys, a lot of it.
Or mints.
That's crazy. I didn't know. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I would chew a lot of bubble gum, and it just took it away. After a while, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not itchy no more. Yeah. Like, all right, let me just lay here now.
Yeah.
That's good. A lot of people are probably going to trip out on this episode because I've never told anybody a bunch of this stuff. So they're probably like, damn, she ain't cool no more. No.
Like, who's this person? Who's Shelly? I don't know.
Yeah. Ruby's. You worked there for a while.
Yeah, I worked there for 4 years. It actually closed when COVID hit.
Yeah.
They
kicked us out, and I was like, oh, and what am I gonna do now? But after that, a few months later, I got a job at a thrift store in Bell. I love that job. We were working while COVID.
Were you?
Yes. Yeah, and but I started saving my unemployment checks. They were coming in big, and I started saving, and I save about 20,000.
The EDD. That's
Yeah.
what it was, right?
Yeah, so I saved about 20,000, and I put that money for our current house.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah. It's hard to save that money because I just wanted to spend
Yeah.
on buy all these nice dresses.
Yeah.
But because we were living in a small little apartment. It was a single with 5 people in it. It was me, my daughter, my husband, my kids, my 2 boys, and it was just we were just too cramped up. And we were there for like 8 years, and I was just like, I'm gonna just save this money. I'll get a job. I'll get my job will bring more money, and yeah, we bought a house.
Oh,
That was 2021.
that's so cool. So how's the whole? How was the change? It helped a lot, right?
It did help a lot, yeah. But I think it hit most of my kids because it was so fast that they didn't even get to say goodbye to their friends. And I feel like part of that kind of made my oldest sad about that.
Did you move real far?
Well, we still live in Huntington Park, and we moved to Norwalk.
Well, change. For kids, it sucks.
Yeah.
They have their friends, and they have this and that.
But it's weird because when I used to live in that house, we never went out. We always, once in a while, but the kids would go out to play. But I was like a homebody. I would just stay home all day.
And now you're always out.
Yes, I am.
Love calles too, so invite me.
Actually, because I didn't drive at the time, and I didn't have a car, and I didn't have my license.
It's just hard to go, huh?
So it's hard to go anywhere without a license.
Yeah.
My mom was like, I used to drive without a license. You could do it. And I'm just like...
We did it for a very long time, but it comes very expensive. Yeah. Well, that's good you didn't.
No. But then I got my license, and
Well, that's good.
I
But
drive everywhere
like
now.
overall, like getting into a bigger space though helped your whole like mood, huh?
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's why you were depressed too. You're in a little place.
Yeah. Maybe in my mind it was the garage all over again.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's weird what the mind plays with when you're stuck in your head, period.
Yeah.
There's another way to,
Yeah.
call it.
I was making cakes. I created Cakes by Monsters because of my son. When his first birthday, I didn't have money to buy him a cake, but I had enough money to make him a cake because it's more affordable. Boxes are more affordable
Yeah.
than baking it yourself. So I did that, and Cakes by Monsters started from my first son, Noah, for his first birthday.
That's nice. How long have you been doing that then now? 14 years? 15 years?
He's 15 now, so 15.
And you sell them out to people?
I do.
Or you just like...
Yeah, when Cakes by Monsters, actually Cakes by Monsters was called My Damn Cakes.
My damn cakes?
Damn cakes, like damn.
Oh.
But it was for a reason. Damn was D was for Daniel, A was for Adam, M was for Matthew, and N was for Noah. Daniel and Matthew are my 2 kids that I gave up for adoption. I actually have them tattooed right here, Matthew and Daniel.
Oh.
Everybody always asks me, is that a guy's name? No, it's not. When I know.
Damn.
Yeah.
And your daughter ain't in there.
I know.
So that's why you switched it up.
I switched it up to get Cakes by Monsters because they're my monsters.
I have to.
Yeah, I have a really big monster over there. But that's actually where my stage name came from, because I used to be Big Zilla.
Big Zilla.
Bake Zilla.
Bake Zilla. Oh.
And I remember somebody telling me, you need to change your name because it sounds like you're like... And I was like...
That's what I thought you said, Big Zilla. I was like,
Okay.
hell yeah. No.
I'm like, okay, I'll look for a name. So I was like, well, I've been Shelly my whole life. So Shelly, and then Monsters, well, Cakes by Monsters, Monster, oh, Shelly Monster. Okay.
Shelly Monster. Sounds intimidating, huh?
I don't know. To me, it sounds loving because they're my. To me, it's my kids. Shelly and the kids, very much.
Shelly Monster. You know what? Like when I first seen your name on our roster, who made it?
Yeah.
I was like Shelly Monster. I was like picturing like a Godzilla, like a big old monster. So then I meet you. I'm like, she ain't even scary. Why is that her name?
It's my name because
funny.
of my cakes.
See? So don't let your mind play tricks on you guys.
Yeah.
No, that's cool. And then you do like all like I put my little announcement, your picture with that real cool dress with the leaves and stuff. What was that about?
I had a vision. I'm very creative. Like, I have a very creative mind, and I think that's why I'm so into my head, because there's a lot of stuff in there and wants to kind of get out. So they said tropical queen, and to me, tropical, that's what I thought it would look like. And so I made, everything was from the thrift store except for the leaves. I got them on Amazon, but the bottom part was like a tutu from little girls' dresses, and I started sewing and gluing the leaves one by one. It took me 2 weeks.
That's cool though. I do all our costumes for Halloween too. They just don't, first of all, they don't
Make them the way
I have a thought. That's what I want.
right? It's like in there, you're like, right?
Everything is so basic and just like here. This is what we're selling, bags and bags, and just line them up.
Yeah.
And then number two, I recently like started making my husband dress up with us because he ain't for none of that. So he's big. You guys don't know him. He's behind the camera, but my husband is a moose. He's 6 foot tall, big old dude. So where do I find stuff that fit him? So yeah, I was just like, come here. We're gonna be like 1 year, like 3 or 4 years ago, we were a caveman couple. I had him looking like Fred Flintstone, but with
That's
solid
cute.
brown. But it's like and he was just like, man, this outfit came out good, and we only used it real quick. I was like, wow, we could just walk around in the market like this. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, seriously.
But no, yeah, I get what you mean. It's here, and then you just go, and it's so basic, all the stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this year I'm hoping to get invited, guys, to a Halloween party. So you got something going
Oh,
on?
seriously, me too.
Let me know.
I always hear about them after, and I'm like, wait, why didn't you tell me before?
And then you get jealous because
I'm
I
like,
do.
I want to go. I've never been to one.
I see all these girls having a good ass time with their
Seriously.
drinks, and I'm like, man, nobody even invited me.
I know, so mean.
I'm just gonna have my own.
I wish you have our own. Hey,
We should have our own.
I have a ginormous yarn, man. We could do it there.
Don't tempt me, Shelly Monster. I want to party, guys. No. My kids are of age now to be left behind a little bit.
Right,
It's time to live life a little bit,
Yeah, definitely.
Just there all the time, like, God, just breathe a little bit. Okay, comadre, so let me tell you. Now you're doing an organization called Heavenly Crowns. How did that come to be? You're very creative. How did you get the name, and where did this idea come from?
I almost attempted suicide in 2022. No. Yeah, 22. Was it 22?
2 years ago.
2022. Around my birthday. For some reason, my birthday is the one that it was just really, really bad. And it was the most depression I've ever had. And I got a call. I tell you, I haven't spoken to my mom for almost 6 years. I got a call and I saw it was her calling me, and I don't know why I picked up, but I picked up. I picked up that phone call. She said she wanted to get together for my birthday and my son's birthday. My son's birthday is the 23rd. So mine's the 21st. It's
Yeah.
the 23rd. So I was like, okay. I don't know why I said that. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. And so yeah, we went out to go eat, and then she told me about church and that she got better, and I was like, are you sure you got better? Because you say you go to church, but then you say you're good for a period of time, and then and then you go back to drinking, back to the domestic violence, back to, you know, just being a bad mom. And she's like, no, I've been going here for a year and I've gotten better. And so I gave it, I trusted her. I went to dinner. Everything went well. I was very skeptical, very scared. My kids wanted to sleep over that day, and I let them. Like, I don't know what made me let them, but I had so much anxiety that night. It was crazy. And she took me to church, and she showed me her church. It was crazy because I was like, what is this? What are they doing? Why is it so loud? Why is the pastor yelling? What's going on?
Christian.
Yeah, it was a Christian church. I was born and raised Catholic, but not fully, I would say, but
Non-participant.
Yeah. So I didn't really know.
So you know that
I do
quiet.
Yes, exactly. So I was like, why are they dancing? Why are they yelling? Why did it sound like a rave? What's going on here?
Did you get your hand stamped coming in? Okay, then it wasn't a rave, liar. No, just kidding.
But I was just like, what is going on? And then I went during this week. It was called Freedom Conference. The church is in Whittier, and it's called Freedom City Church. And they had that conference. I went with my mom, and I was just like, what's going on here? And then the next day I went with my husband. That was actually the day that I got saved. I fully opened my heart, and I got born again. I took some classes to be born again, and I accepted Jesus Christ in my heart. And it's been pretty smooth sailing ever since. I opened up to my mom. Me and my mom are really good now, and I go to church, and I started serving. They have these classes. There's two, Lifestyle Freedom and Lifestyle Freedom 2. It helps you a lot with the mind and how to pray and how to conquer life. Because it's on the mind. Like we said, it's on the mind. And as long as you open your heart and you learn, you go to these classes, you learn how to deal with them. I think that's where I got saved. It was really hard, but I was like, what is this guy talking about? I don't know. I don't want to change my mind. My mind is fine.
Yeah.
But I didn't take it once. I took it twice because I was like, no, I need to do this all over again. And actually pay attention, not let my heart and my mind take over and say, you're being brainwashed, or it's a cold. Honestly, I'd rather be brainwashed by God and Jesus Christ than be brainwashed by the world and then be depressed and trying to end my life.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's my honest opinion. So one day at church, I was at a service Sunday. I don't know what day it was, but it's like God gave me a name. He said Heavenly Crowns. And I was like, what? Okay, what is this? And then I just prayed about it for a lot of times. And I started putting pieces together. And I'm like, okay, Heavenly Crowns. And I know what it is now. I'm going to show not just women, but men as well, that they are worthy, to go to heaven. They're worthy. They don't need to be trying to not like, if you're going through something, take it up to God. Pray about it. If you're God says, come as you are. If you're doing drugs and you're, doing all this bad stuff, come as you are. He wants you to come and just talk to him, pray to him. So he gave me Heavenly Crowns so I can show everybody that's broken that you don't need to be broken any longer. You don't need to be broken. He loves you no matter what. I have to do is say, hey, Dad, he's your Heavenly Father.
Mm-hmm. Let me in.
Yeah, and he's always there. He knows what you're doing. He knows where your next step is gonna be. You only have to do it is open your heart and say, okay, I'm gonna go the right way. I'm gonna do this, and that's I think that's my right way of helping everyone to the pearly gates.
It's a nice cause. It's good.
Yeah. What actually brought it up more was, so he gave me that at the church, and then I thought about it and started putting pieces together. Was that, sorry, my son was out with his friends. He was out drinking, and I didn't know what was going on. I get a call from my sister, tells me that he's cutting himself and that he's at a friend's house. I didn't have a car at the time. My husband accidentally took my keys, and I got my bike, and I rode my bike all the way to his friend's house because I was just really, really scared what stage he was or what was going on. So I went really fast to his friend's house in the bike. That didn't work because I kept falling. But and then I got him, and then it was really hard to call the 911 and tell him what's going on with Noah, with my son, and it was the hardest decision in my life. But I knew if I didn't do anything now, there would probably be much worse later. So I called, and they took him, and they handcuffed him because he was very violent. And my middle child saw everything. And I tried to distract him by saying, "Call your dad." But he was just
Stuck on what he was watching.
No, he was blank. And stuck on what he was watching. And his tears were just running down. I was crying, and I had a panic anxiety attack, and I couldn't breathe. And I remember as the paramedics saying, "Calm down. Everything's going to be okay. You did the right choice. You saved him. It could have been much worse. It could have gotten worse." I'm like, okay. So he was admitted in the hospital that night. He didn't want to see me. We went to go see him at the emergency. He didn't want to see me at all. And so my husband went to see him, and that broke me even more. And then he got admitted to a mental hospital for a week.
Yeah.
But through all that hardship, all that huge storm that I went through, that we all went through, I was still praying. People around me were still praying. Church was still praying. They would come and visit me. They would ask me, call me. They would call him. They would call my son at the hospital to see how he's doing, just to shine some light in him, or praying for him. And so that made my faith stronger. And that's when, that same week, I had a Cruise for Colors pinup contest, and I reached out to Dolly C, and I said, "Hey, do you need crowns?" And she's like, "How did you know?" And I was like, "I don't know, but God said that I need to give you crowns for this contest." And so I got my crowns. I started printing out letters from the Heavenly Father, and scriptures, and just that Heavenly Crowns is made from my storm, the storm that I went with my son. And if I can get out of my storm, then everybody else can get out of theirs, by faith and praying and never giving up.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, especially again, I'm a mother before anything, and when anything comes up with kids, it just breaks my heart, and it sucks because being a kid, you don't even care. You don't see the love your parents have for you, and the struggles and the sacrifices they go through,
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel with you right there. It sucks really bad, but yeah, I'm glad you came up with that. She does take donations, guys, so if you are interested, I'll put up the handle right here. She does obviously help out with the future pinups are seeing her scene, so that's what she's into. And yeah, you guys can send her a message. You have GoFundMe, or what do you have? Zelle?
I had a GoFundMe, but I also have Venmo or Zelle, whichever. Yeah. But I would just want to tell you that Heavenly Crowns is not just for pinups; it's for guys too. I'm getting the crowns, like the medieval crowns, for the men as well. So I'm gonna start doing those.
I'm gonna need one so I could crown my king.
Oh yeah, definitely. Speaking of that, I actually have brought one for you.
I'm a winner.
Yeah.
Take a picture.
Here. There you go. Heavenly Daughter.
See? And people say I never get nowhere. Thank you. I love it.
You're welcome.
I'm going to put it right there where all my shrine is. I'm so full of myself.
Yeah, we're all royalty. We're royalty from their Heavenly Father. Like, do you just open yourself to God and pray and have faith. And I know there's storms out there, but if I could go through mine and He could open the doors for me, He can do it for you too.
Yeah, that's what I always try to tell people. You could be a pessimist. You can sit here and be as negative as you want to be. Where's that going to get you?
Yeah, nowhere.
That's why in my house, we have a rule. It's a 24-hour rule. Whatever happened today, once we go to sleep, that reset button starts, and tomorrow's a whole new 24.
Yeah.
Because if you sit there and you dwell on the shit that happened the day before, it's shit that happens.
Yeah.
How long are you going to dwell on for? A whole damn 10 days?
Yeah, and they say that you let the enemy in your house and then he grows and he throws more bad things at you. You gotta stop that. Just like, nope, you're under my foot, you're not going anywhere.
See, and to you guys watching, I'm never into religion. I don't speak of it because a lot of people oppose or they don't agree. We're not sitting here trying to be religion bangers on you and, hey, this is the way. No, she's telling you guys her story, what saved her, what worked for you. Find whatever will make you better, will make you happy, will make you open up and get rid of whatever your issue is. Mm-hmm. There are so many people that live with burdens, and that thing is they don't want to open, they don't want to talk, they don't want to nothing. Mm-hmm. And believe it or not, guys, talk about it. It makes it that much better. Everybody's like, people don't need to know. They don't need to know, but you need to tell.
Yeah.
Don't tell the stranger then, or don't tell your friend, because they're going to go snitch and tell everybody. Find help. Get counseling. Find a church like she did. There's so many people that are out there that are not only trained, but willing to listen.
Oh, yeah.
Find help.
Listen.
Yeah, I'll listen too. I always tell everybody I have two big old ears. The right one listens better than the left for some reason. It's muffled, but I'm good to go. They know that. I have a lot of people. Thank you guys. They write me messages, and I try to answer as best as I can and give my point of view, my advice. And I tell them, I don't know, but this is what I feel. And everybody knows I'm always a message away. I don't get to them right away, but I will eventually. Find that missing piece of the puzzle to help you guys get into a better place. Recently it's been brought up that, especially our generation and being Latino background, they don't believe in depression. They don't believe in issues. Everything's just shut up and get over it. You're being a crybaby. It's a true thing, guys. It's a true thing. And as funny as those memes are, it sucks because that's our reality. That's how it was. Like, I remember telling my mom, I feel like real sad or something. Ay, por huevona, ponte a hacer algo. Like, okay, whatever. And I'd get over it. And yeah, okay. And this was, then when I was about 15 years old. Depression ain't a thing with the Latino community. Yeah. The whole, telling your stuff. Ay, no le digas a so-and-so because van a ir a hablar de ti. Who cares? Who cares? They talk about you anyway.
Yeah, pretty much.
So at least they know the whole story from you, instead of assuming and thinking and making shit up.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going through. If you want to know, I feel better.
Yeah, my depression's gone, my anxiety's gone, I feel happy, and I just want to share that because I want everybody to feel happy. I don't want to them to. I have been there. I don't want nobody to feel like that.
Yeah.
And I want to say that it's what I'm church for me is not a religion, is having a relationship
Yes.
with God.
Yes, that's what I always say too. You don't need to go to church.
Yeah, you don't. As
You don't
long
need
as-
to buy a Bible. You don't need to go hit yourself 3 times every Sunday. But pray, talk, meditate,
Yeah.
think about it, feel better about it.
Yeah, exactly.
For the longest, that's what I would do. We weren't really church participants till just recently. And it would help me. It would help me in that sense. Like, man, I have the faith. Like I said, this episode, everybody's going to be tripping out because I'm just saying a bunch of my personal stuff that I don't share. But yeah, I have the faith and I'm very deep into my faith. But again, there's certain things I'm not cool with. Like, that, for instance, go hit yourself 3 times. For what? All these people go in there and then they come out and they're just looking at the person in front of them still talking their shit, So it's like, why are you really here?
Yeah.
You don't need to be there to be there,
Yeah.
So think about it, guys. It's a hard world as it is. We just said, bullies are still among us at this freaking age. It's like, man, they're gonna be all like talking shit over our coffins and then look at our coffin. It's like, just get over it, guys. Live a better life. Be a better person. Be a happy person.
Mm-hmm.
You control your happiness. You control it.
Yeah.
It's a mind thing. Just like I said, try that whole 24-hour reset. It's amazing how good. I don't know if you do that, but try it. To me, yesterday we had a big old issue. The whole house was fighting with each other. Okay, that was yesterday. And that was what I was known for, dwelling on I would dwell and dwell. Like, I dwelled on shit for 10 years.
Yeah.
And then I'm just, whatever. It's done. Let's freaking live, It's done. It's freaking done. There. You're still here. I'm still here. Just shut up already.
Yeah.
All right, comadre. One last thing. To that girl going through what you went through when you were 19, what advice would you give her?
There is help for you out there. You just have to speak up. I know it's scary, and I know that you're scared, your family, your parents, or whatever, but there is help out there. And I promise you, if you go and speak up, you'll be in a better place. Just speak up. That's all I tell you. Speak up to anyone.
So you got it there, guys. Here from Miss Shelly Monster, not Gazilla.
Shelly Monster.
Catch us, guys. We'll be doing a pinup contest on her birthday. So that's gonna be a good one. I'll try to record more of that. Everybody's like, well, you don't even record those. It's like, I'm busy that day.
Yeah, we're like running around and take pictures here, take pictures there. Not this one, but there was something you had to change and
Yeah.
yeah.
Good. I just go as I go. Like, I'm not changing. I could barely get into this. No. That first one at Grant Ray, the one where I met you, that one was so freaking hot.
Wait, which one?
At Grant Ray right there in Montebello.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that one.
That was hot. We were like, yeesh.
They had no reservation spot for us at all. Like, it was just like, okay, go line up by the building. I was melting. I did change right after that. I was like, man, I need to change.
I left after. I was too hot.
That was hot.
I was just like, no.
Yes.
Nope.
Well, check us out, guys. We did a photo shoot too, so those pictures will be coming out soon. And it's just busy.
busy. Yeah.
So con eso los dejamos, raza. Please be safe. Please be sane. You'll probably be watching this by Monday or Tuesday, so have a great rest of your week, guys. Los adoro. Bye.